Welcome back to A Minute with Chelsea. This vlog takes place after the hobbithikers hiked the black sand beach. We stopped at this little visitor center to go to the bathroom, and also there were things to try. There was different kinds of seaweed, and I said, I don't think I like this very much, and I tried really hard, but I just don't like it. I did like these skulls. I love bones. I think bones are super cool. That's a mink skull. That's a creepy fish. I love a visitor center where you can do things like smell stuff and try stuff. This is just grass. It's like seagrass. It smells really nice. Kind of like guinea pig hay. I like when you can see real animals and not gross little plastic ones that are on display. You know, like I want to see a real animal. And then there are these little secret Halloween surprises where you stick your hand inside something and try to figure out what it is. Turns out it's just rocks and wool. I did sign the guest book for us. Some of the girls hiked out to see the lighthouse. I did not. I was too busy touching and smelling things in the visitor center. Today we are on the coast, and this is called the Snælfosses Peninsula. We all tried to say it a million times. It's really hard to say for some reason, especially if you're from the United States. But the sea was super rough today and super, super high up. The tide was super high and the waves were rough. And I think that honestly, it kind of gave it this really amazing ambiance, because look who I saw. Look what I saw. I'm losing my fucking mind here. I know you can't hear it because I'm voicing over it, but these whales, I can't even film. Like, I'm screaming. I've never seen a whale before. Not in real life. Not in the ocean in front of me off a cliff. And let me tell you, this is the coldest I've been on this entire trip. I was so cold that I lost feeling in my hands. That's a seal, not a whale. That's a seal. Look, here he is. He was too close to the shore to be a whale, and he was too small, but that is a seal. Brianna and I were late getting back to the bus because we kept stopping. Hell nar. We kept stopping at every lookout point because we would keep seeing whales, and I was losing my shit. I was like, I don't care if we're late. And other people were late too because of all the whales. It was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. Also, doesn't this look like a Windows screensaver or like a background on a computer? Like, how is that real life? How am I here? I just want to say, as somebody from Arkansas, when the roads look like that, we stay home. And our guide just drove on it like it was no big deal, because in Iceland, it isn't a big deal. It's just crazy to me because like in Arkansas, we shut down. We made it to our hotel, which was honestly absolutely perfect and beautiful. I loved it so much. It's in the middle of this beautiful field. It's a horse farm. You can see the sunrise. You can see the sunset. You can see the northern lights. It's so pretty. Here's my room tour. I don't think my beds were supposed to be apart, but honestly, I didn't care. I was just excited to be here. That's where you have breakfast and dinner and lunch, over at that building. And here is the sunset once it went down. This is the coldest place. I literally felt like I was freezing to death here. It's called Lysenhol. I'm trying. I'm really bad at this. I took 8 years of Spanish. I've never taken any Icelandic, and I don't know how to do the accent, and it's really hard. We went up to have dinner at the guest house. You have to take off your shoes and put on these little slippers, or you can put little booties over your boots if you don't feel like untying them. This was not our farewell dinner, but for some reason it did feel kind of like a farewell because we had like a big presentation. Our chef was Italian. He walked us through every single course. We started off with a mushroom soup and some salad and some homemade bread, and that bread was so damn good, y'all. It's a little bit flat, but it was delicious. And the salad was fresh, everything. You cut your own bread. We did not have homemade butter, but honestly, it didn't really matter. The mushroom soup was homemade. It was so thick and creamy and delicious, but somehow it was also vegan. Like, I don't know how they do it. The vegan food here tastes like full fat food, like fully animal fat food. We had a full smorgasbord here. We had some spaghetti, we had bread, we had soup. We had roast chicken with homemade roast chicken gravy that came from the chicken itself. We had some baked fish, and we also had some fried rice, which was also vegetarian and vegan for anyone who did not eat meat, with lots and lots of steamed vegetables and grilled vegetables. And then this homemade cake our chef made, and I also had a big coffee with it because that's one of my favorite parts of being here is the coffee. The cake was super fluffy. It had big plops of meringue on top. It was so yummy, fresh berries, and they were fat blueberries too. And this is our Italian chef talking to our Icelandic guide about the differences in their food, and they're laughing and giggling about it. Then our guide Laudos was like, hey, guess what it's time for? It's time for us to eat rotten shark. And I was like, oh, I really don't want to eat that. I really don't. The shark is buried in the sand for 6 months, and it just sits there and rots, and then you eat it because then it's fermented. If you eat it fresh, you can die because it's poisonous, because it's Greenland shark. I'll just tell you right now, when that lid came off that little container, I was so close to throwing up just smelling it. It smells like a rotten crotch from hell. Kind of smells like you've been dumpster diving behind Red Lobster. I could barely stomach the smell, and I am sorry. I tried really hard. I did put the shark in my mouth. I did not swallow it because it was like trying to chew a tire. And I'll show you later. Maybe I'll put it on my Instagram, on my stories. That shark fell out of my mouth and down my tit and then under the table. So I just took the shot and pretended because it was so bad I thought I was gonna die. After dinner, we headed back to the main house where we all sat around. I charged my computer and uploaded videos to YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, go do that. And then I got in bed with some chocolate.